In 2019, the Houston Texans fired their general manager. Show of hands, who knew this would end horribly? Yeah? Yeah. Um, I hope from the bottom of my heart that this implodes epically in the faces of the Houston Texans. And not to spite their fans or not for any real reason. I don't want to see Watson have to struggle the way he's struggled. I don't want to see bad things befall JJ Watt on Wisconsin. But I want these billionaire owners to understand this and get this tattooed on their brain. You never let these egotistical, maniacal coaches play football czar with your team. It ends in tragedy. Over and over, we've seen examples of this, and we've very rarely seen anything that was a positive come out of giving the coach full control. And there's a very, very easy reason for this, because coaching is about teaching and leadership, and the front office is business. Different skill sets here, folks. Yes, football is football. No, not when it comes to this. And you couldn't wrap this up in any clearer terms than you heard during the Kansas City-Houston game, where the commentators were talking about how Bill O'Brien went about trading Hopkins and how we couldn't afford him and we could only find teams with a rookie quarterback contract who were able to afford his contract. Look at your team, Bob. You got Randall Cobb making $9 million a year. You've got Stills on the bench making $8 million a year. You got Cooks, who you traded a second-round pick for, making $8 million a year. Simple math says $25 million a year. Hopkins makes a bigger impact than all of those three players combined, Bob. That's what you need to understand. That's why value is a thing of the front office. Execution and middling talent is what coaches look for repeatedly when they get this opportunity. They overpay for this middling talent because a known entity is someone we can expect to execute, whereas young players, they're an unknown. Until they're known, that happens very quickly. Darnell Mooney's known already. He was a 5th-round pick this year. And paying for small increases over an average player is exactly where you don't go in free agency. That is where you make the biggest mistakes in free agency. Paying the elite players who aren't supposed to get to the free agent market who actually get there, that's a good place to spend. Waiting till the end and finding NFL players who have fallen through the cracks is another good place to spend. That middle is where everything gets overpaid. And that's the mistake coaches fall in because we want to get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And it doesn't add up to wins. And the most insane part of it is that Bill O'Brien built an offense that doesn't cater to his quarterback. You have a franchise quarterback in Houston, folks. Watson is a franchise quarterback. But you have to still build your system to him. And look no further than New England when you talk about that, because Brady ran a system for a very long time that fit directly to him. Now Cam Newton's there. Offense gets torn up, and we have a brand new system in New England. Why? Because putting your players in position to succeed is the most important thing you can do as a coach. And Bill O'Brien, the GM, built an offense that doesn't work with Deshaun Watson by getting rid of Hopkins, by bringing in Cobb, and by trading a 2nd-round pick for Cooks, who's a shell of his former self, has concussion issues, and is not a contract that the Rams even wanted to keep around. Yet they gave up a 2nd-round pick for him because coaches don't understand value. And there's a part of me that hopes that this goes so badly that no owner ever considers this again. I don't think that will be the case because I think that situation got completely toxic. The tweets you're seeing from JJ Watt and the remarks around Houston right now really make it seem like the team just hated Bob to this point. And they love Crennel. They love Weaver. I think this team's going to rebound nicely, but the damage is done. Houston is done for this year. They can win some games. I don't see them making the playoffs at this point, and it's all because of Bob. It truly baffles me every time somebody believes this could be a positive course because it's pretty apparent. It is not easy to be a good head coach in the NFL, and it's not easy to run a good front office in the NFL. So why would you think that one person has enough hours in the day and talent to be able to handle both hats? It's an insane proposition from the start. And that's why as soon as they fired the general manager and said that Bob would be running as the de facto general manager, we all knew this ending. We were just watching the train wreck unfold. And Hopkins in the middle of the offseason, the trade bringing in an expensive running back, then throwing picks at Cooks. We all knew this was coming. And here's to hoping we never see it again. Because no fan base deserves to watch their team dragged through the mud by a maniacal, egotistical coach like the Houston Texans fan base just watched. I love you guys. We need you. Stay strong, and I'll see you on the other side.